IPMNation.com.
Live from the Outpost Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy. Brought to you by IPMNation.com. Get ready for the gong heard round the world.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Good evening once again. You know, I was talking with Wayne earlier about all the different gymnastics that I have to do running around here. Apparently I left the camera on last night and he goes, man, I didn't realize all that stuff that you had to do just to get ready. And I was like, yeah, I know, really? So in any event, let me see what's going on with here. Oh, here we go. In any event, thank you so very much and welcome. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out now. The 388th episode of the #1 rated show here on IPMNation.com. You're in to All Natural Being and the aforementioned said gong heard around the world. I gave it a good smack tonight. I was like, wow, must have had a little more olive oil than I thought. Broadcast as it happens, thanks to our good friends at Telestream's Wirecast, and I do mean good friends. Couldn't do it without them. Live from the Transitional Radio Uplink here in Columbus, Ohio, broadcasting directly to IPMNation.com and multicast live on here on Facebook if you're watching, and over on allnaturalbeing.com and our Brian Brawdy app as well. Please remember, though, in case you're catching the rebroadcast of this, we do our little soiree on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, you know, all the usual suspects. And I guess we're going to stay with Twitter a little longer, but I'd love to learn in the feed how everyone sees that playing out for us. So we'll decide together how that turns out. Greetings wherever you are, however you're getting to us. Greetings here in the Garden of the Mortals, the labyrinth of life itself, the ups and downs, the lefts and rights, the pivots, the swerves, the blind alleys and cul-de-sacs, but never a dead end. That is until you and I decide to tap out. Now, it's true. Life constantly comes at us. Fate is relentless, but so is divine intervention. Divine, however you define it. Every chop block of fate comes with a counterpunch from the Supreme. So I guess you could say, as I've mentioned before, that life's labyrinth is the back and forth between the assault of fate and the succor given to us by the divine. It's a chess match, basically, between your dynamic and the dark that pursues each and every one of us. Either way, it's your shot at running the table, at leveling out only when and where you see fit. You're the captain or the captainess of your ship. No permission needed, not from anybody. Only the vapid long for the committee vote. And let's be honest, you and I know that's not you. Now, when it comes to your ferociousness, it's in your blood. You can feel it. Now, you just have to get your mind to remember to reinstall it and then to embrace it wholeheartedly. That's why we're here, to be your amnesia buster, your friendly blue force, cognitive left of bang, if you will. Always putting your heart's highest priority top of the list where it absolutely belongs. Reinstalling and reinstating the true wit, wisdom, and wallop of your inner whisper. Think about it. If we reboot You're Robust, that gives you the chance to bring your counterpunch all in time to out-brutal the brutal that is the cut and shuffle that fate can deal us on a daily basis, and to once and for all bring your own bold. Because I believe there's a storm coming. You can be jacked up or buttoned up, but the stunning beauty of it is that you make the call. Remember the old football things? You make the call. But before we hit it this evening, a quick hello to my friends here in the United States and Canada. I have a few friends left in Canada. Mexico, the UK, my good dear friends in Ecuador, China, the Philippines, Brazil, India, Australia, Germany, Italy, France, Nigeria, Turkey, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Belgium, Sweden, Israel, South Africa, Egypt, Puerto Rico, Kenya, the Netherlands, Iran, Colombia, Greece, Ireland, Argentina, Peru, Austria, Poland. To those joining us from all over the globe, it truly is an honor to have you with us. And I'm going to be counting on you all, especially to add, what do we got, 190 some odd countries? We're going to be adding them all for 81 to win. But tonight, I truly am fired up to be driving your bandwagon, to be your virtual hitchhiker. If you're out and about and on the go, you know what I love? I say this all the time. You know what I love about riding shotgun? Well, I get to hang with you. So what are we waiting for? Here's our opportunity to mortal up. It's time to love the way you think. What's wrong with loving the way you think? It's time to be your all-natural being. It's time for you to bring your personal grit to the relentless grip of life. So what do you say? Let's go kick in some doors. And this evening, before we get to the thread, I want to make mention, once again, I want to thank my friends at Telestream's Wirecast. I had a great conversation on that. And I don't want to give the name of the person I was talking to. It's just a phenomenal guy, just a really brilliant guy who helps me, in terms of, what do I think about this? What do I think about that? So I really want to thank everyone at Telestream's Wirecast and it's for, not just the technical expertise, but all the inspiration, right? You'd think with as many times as I've been doing this and all the different times that I have to go, oh, what do we do here? What do we do there? They'd be like, oh, it's Brian calling, right? And they'd all run. Don't pick up that phone. It's from a suburb of beautiful Columbus, Ohio. Don't pick up that phone. But they never treat me like that. I think if every company had the customer service that Telestream's Wirecast does, be a great world to live in. All right, so here's what we want to talk about this evening very quickly. Then I want to go ahead and get it out of the way before we open the phone lines. Remember that you can call us, as always, at 1-833 MINDUPS, mind-ups, just like push-ups or sit-ups or pull-ups, 833-646-3877. Of course, 833-mind-ups. Give us a call if you want to hop in on the show tonight. And we're talking a little bit about our official attempt at 81 to win a Guinness World Records attempt coming up. Hopefully, we will have successfully completed it by St. Patrick's Day this coming year in 2019. So, as we started to mention briefly last evening, we would love it if you're like, oh, I want to be a part of that show. I want to go ahead and make sure that I call in. I want to go ahead and make sure that some of the topics that I want to talk about are represented in the show. And we're just pumped to be doing that, to make sure that those things that, right? Because for 81 hours, that's a lot of time to be able to hang together. And I want to be able to bring some of the sharpest minds on the internet, sharpest minds in social media and in, real bricks and mortar life, to have these people call in so we can all maybe learn together. Have you call in. We can all just kind of kick it around and all be a part of that Guinness World Record. And I'd love it if there were 100 names attached to everyone that helped us get to that point. So keep that in mind. And if you think, oh, Brian, you should do this or you should do that, then we would absolutely look to incorporate it into the show. So thank you so very much for that. All right, before we head over and jump into the thread, I do this every night. I go, I got to make sure we turn down the volume. Let me say hello to everyone with us. Candace, thank you so very much. Chris, thank you. Wayne, it's about time. Turning on cameras must be rough. Why was I late? That's the thing with Wayne. I can never be early enough. I'm always late enough. But thank you for keeping me honest. Who knows what I do anymore, right? I don't even know. Henry, good evening. Oh, yeah. And Brian, thank you very much. Nice to see you. Alice and Candace and John and Jenny. Paul, hi to you as well. Let me see who else do we have here. Kathy, nice to see you. Wayne Knoll, 81 hours. I know. I'm very fired up about it. So, we'll see what goes. All right. So also to catch up a little bit of what we were talking about last evening, just an update from what I've been doing. Tomorrow will be 1 week since they finally pulled the shunt out of me, and it still freaks me out. It makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck when I think that for all this time, for going on 3 years, I couldn't get a particular skin cancer lesion to heal, because my body was busy fighting off the adverse effects of the shunt. But then as soon as they pulled the shunt out, 5 days, it's healed. 5 days, it's healed. So my question is, what's your alien? What's your baggage? What's your rucksack full of crap that keeps you from putting your heart's highest priority top of your list? Let me also say hello to Paul. Paul, thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. And the question is, could you and I be responsible for chop blocking ourselves? It's easy to point the finger. Oh, it's the fates. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. But could we be responsible for hampering our own attempts at being happy in life? I was having a conversation because and this is maybe a little more personal than you would want me to be, but I'm very, very fortunate to have, I was at an event today, standing there and a little bit of swelling going on, and I hadn't positioned my hat just perfectly. And the guy standing next to me goes, "Hey, for whatever it's worth, what's up with you? What's the swelling all about?" And I got to tell you, I appreciated his candor. And I said, I've been fighting this, a little bit of a brain tumor, the aftermath, this and that. And he goes, "Really?" And right away I should have known. He goes, "Malignant or benign?" And I go, benign. It was a golf ball, so that made it a bit of a struggle, and they couldn't heal the leak, so that definitely made it a struggle, but it was benign. And he goes on to tell me, this guy standing up against the wall, we're here at an event, we're looking at, he's got brain cancer. So two things I want to make sure of, that I'm really, really lucky, I'm really fortunate, I'm really blessed that mine was benign, not malignant. And I also want to be aware of everyone else. I mean, you can't go anywhere without meeting someone that either knows of someone with a brain tumor or has a brain tumor themselves or the aftermath. But I also want to make sure that for those people that will always have a shunt, I don't want to make too much to do of me being rid of the shunt, right? I'm very, very fortunate. I'm going to do what it takes to rebound, right? The Tumor 25. I can't wait. Derek Noel from Derek Noel Fitness will be along before too long to help me craft, right? Once I get all these staples pulled out of my head next week, to craft my attack back, will help me craft my counterpunch. But I want to be aware of the people that aren't as fortunate as I am, that their tumors are malignant. They'll always have the shunt. So I want to find that way of coming right up to the line. And I was talking to my wife about it, and Ashley said, well, you always want to have hope. And her words kind of stuck with me, and I kept thinking about this word hope. And then I remember Carl Sandburg. You remember the poet, "Hope is an echo. It bids you yonder, yonder." And then I wondered, is it hope that we need? Or is it a memory of who we ultimately are? Is it hope, or is it the realization that we were given a human wherewithal with potential just this side of infinite, and that we can handle any chop block, fate or ourselves, right? Because maybe it's what is it? They call it the Stockholm Syndrome, where you fall in love with your captor. Maybe a bunch of us have just gotten to the point where we've fallen in love with the chop block of fate, and we go, what the hell? I'll chop block myself. I'll save fate the trouble. I'll just go ahead and make sure that I never put my heart's highest priority top of my list. Henry says, most of the time we are the culprits behind our chop blocking. Absolutely agree, Henry. Wayne says, I may be kicking back tonight, but will still be looking. Oh, very nice. Matt, thank you for joining us. Matt Connerton from IPM Nation. I don't know, Matt. I thought I had figured it out yesterday just to let you know the audio recording again isn't going just right. So sorry, brother. I need to impose one more time to get you to peel the audio a little bit later if you would. But thank you so very much for joining us. I super appreciate it. And yes, I keep forgetting, right? In this thing, just so you know, I look at the on my phone, right? The feeds pop up on my phone, so I can't see the shares. But yes, I did say that I would hit a prayer bowl Or is that, oh, well, probably can't hit it with a thing in it. Dope. I would hit a prayer bowl every time we get a share, so I'm assuming that maybe there's one, too. Just me, shamelessly pandering for a share. But I said we would do that, so there you go. There's the prayer bowl. We heard the gong earlier. And again, getting back to our topic tonight, as Henry says, most of the time we are the culprits behind our own chop blocking. Well, let me ask you, is that true? What's your inner alien? What is it that's holding you back? What is it that's holding you in check? And as Ashley said, well, what it is, it's about hope. Well, okay, but what if it's also remembering that you were given a human brain, a human intuition? You were given the senses to be able to find that divine intervention in each and every moment. When we talk about magnify the moment, what if it's true that every moment your life is packed full of the little tips, the little tricks, the little secrets that you need to just blow this life away, right? To be just to be top notch in however you decide to be top notch. What if all of that is there? We're just so busy, hunkered down. Our philosophical immune systems are so busy trying to beat the shunt. We just don't see all the clues, right? We just don't see all the synchronicity. We don't see all the happenstance. We don't see all the serendipity. We don't see all the eureka that goes down in every moment. All right, don't forget the bottom of the hour here at IPMNation.com/TR Now will be Henry Noel and Thinking Re-Envisioned. And then we're very excited tonight at 9 o'clock, right back here, joining us in the studio, Lee Rowley from Sales Copy Academy will be doing another version of Copy That Speaks. I got to tell you, I love it when Lee's in the studio. He's just such a cut-up. He tries to be prim and proper when he's on camera. But, when he's just him in the studio, he's hysterical. So he'll be back here at 9 p.m. this evening from 9 to 9:30 Eastern Time. We'll be doing Copy That Speaks. We have a guest will be calling in, and then Lee will be working his magic on the board and figuring out exactly what a cool tagline would be, a mission statement or this or that people can use. And maybe, you can log in as well and get your name on the list of people that have an opportunity to call in and do that, because here's the opportunity to have just a premier talent, a worldwide talent in terms of copywriting, and you've got him in your stable. You got him on your team. Here you can call in and go, hey, I'm thinking about this. And he, like Ginsu knives, right over, like going over to Benihana. It's like Benihana with verbs and adjectives and the like. And he whips up a mission statement. So we'll be telling you how to get a hold of Mr. Rowley tonight at 9 o'clock in case that's something you want to do as well. All right. So this evening, we're going to go ahead and again open up the phone lines, 833-646-3877, 833-MINDUPS, MINDUPS. I would love to hear what you've got going on. What are those things that hold you in check? What are those things that keep you from being able to materialize? Everyone says, oh, well, I want to manifest this or that. Yeah, I don't know much about that word. I don't know if I really dig that word, but I kind of, tomato, but I like this concept of materializing. What can you materialize from this particular moment in all of time to put your heart's highest priority top of your list? What are some of the things that hold you back? Because ultimately, let's just say we're right. Let's just say that kicking all this around, it truly means that we're responsible for our time. Then let's kick in some doors. Let's do it. All right, 833-646-3877, 833-MINDUPS. All right, I also had mentioned earlier today that we would talk about our goal. We're going to have a map printed. And I think there's 194, 5, 6, whatever it is, 190 some odd countries around the world. And for our 81 to win, what we'd like to do is make sure that every one of those countries is represented in our world record attempt. So if you hear me mention some of the different calls, or I call out some of the different countries that join us from time to time, or join us in the podcast. If you know of another country, you go, oh, I know someone that lives there. We'd love to have them on board. We'd love to have them be a part of All Natural Being for that. Well, we'd love to have them be a part of it every night, but we'd most certainly love to have them be a part of our world record attempt. So if you have an opportunity and you know of someone that's in the country other than the ones that we mention each evening, Wayne says, ooh, thank you, Wayne, very much. Call in 833-462-39. What is that? Call in 195 countries. Thank you very much. Let me see. So, Wayne, it's 833-646-3877. So let's go. Let me try this. 833, unless maybe Wayne knows a number that I don't. 646. We'll throw up another one over here. 3877. We'll send that as a post. So if you get a chance, give us a call. We'll talk about whatever you would like. And most certainly if you have some suggestions as to things that we can do for the 81 to win, we'd be all over it. Also, I had an opportunity today to speak. Speaking of Lee, I had an opportunity to speak with Lee. We're going to be coming out with a program very shortly that we're working on because here's the thing. As much as I like this concept of coaching, as much as I like this concept of masterminds, which is not very much, to be honest. But in any event, as much as you hear all these things, ballyhooed around, what if you just need a bodyguard? Right? What if you need a philosophical bodyguard? What if you need someone just to watch your six? What if you don't need a coach. You're dialed in as it is already. Maybe you just need a bodyguard. You need someone to kind of watch your perimeter, a close-in person, if you will. Right? Not if you're working the crowd or you're working a reception line, but philosophically, what if you need someone that could just be there to remind you? Yo-ho, Lee. Lee, thank you for joining us. Hope this means that he's watching from his phone and busy on his way getting here to the studio. That would be great. Most times he'll text me and go, yeah, I'm out front. All right, well, Lee, if you're here already, come on down. I think you know how to get in here. So if you're here, come on down. So the concept that we're going to be working on for New Year's resolutions is people that saying, yeah, you know what? I think I have it pretty much dialed in, but I could use a bodyguard. I could use someone that watches my six. I could use someone that helps keep my head in the game, that in fact keeps my heart's highest priority top of the list. I don't need a coach, right? I don't need that. For some people, it's great. I don't need a mastermind. For some people, it's great. But how about for those people that go, from time to time, I could use a bodyguard. I could use someone, just to watch the perimeter for me, right? I could use to talk to someone that is really ready to counter the chop block of fate. Because as I said in the open, I believe it. There's a storm brewing. All you got to do is look at politics, look at philosophies, I saw something today where the only thing everyone in the country can agree on is that we can't agree on anything. So as the future unwinds, it may very well be the people that go, I'm going to rise to the occasion. Sure, I could use a bodyguard. So we'll be talking a little bit about that as well in the days and weeks ahead. Now, also, we're going to, what is tonight? Thursday? Oh, tonight's Thursday. So we'll be taking Friday, Saturday, and we're probably taking Sunday off. You need a 2x4. You know what? That's a great idea, Henry. I have a couple of tools that I leave hidden here, but a 2x4 would be great, or like a baseball bat, or you know what else is really nice that I use from time to time is one of my katanas. You know what I mean? So that will work. But whatever we got to do to make sure that people keep their head in the game, we'd be all over it. So I like that. I'm going to give that, matter of fact, I'm going to link that one right there. 2x4 will work. So, getting back to our schedule, we will be taking tonight the last show here. After my show will be Henry's show, and then Lee's show at 9 to 9:30. Then I'll speak for me. I know I'm taking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll be into the holiday here in the States, so I'll be taking those days off. But we'll be back next week, staple-free, as it were. So I'll get these staples punched, and then we'll be back. And I'll have to talk to Lee. We might be back here next Thursday doing another episode of Copy That Speaks, but we'll check the schedule. And I know we will probably not be doing the sneak speak over at IPM Nation this Sunday. Of course, I'll talk to Matt about that as well. So as we get ready here in the last few minutes of All Natural Being for this evening, what is it that you think? If you want to mention it here in the thread, if you want to call us, or just even if you don't want to come clean, what is it that's holding you back? Gifted with a human mind, no need for hope, just an understanding of who You ultimately are. Now, people say, oh, well, that's just hubris. That's just narcissistic. Playing in traffic, Lee says. Okay. Of course, Lee does not mean that he's texting and driving. That's a euphemism for... I don't know what it's a euphemism for, but you get where I'm going with that. So I'm sure Lee is safe. I'm sure Lee is safe wherever he is. So, right? Now, I've totally lost my train of thought. Thanks, Lee. I got to stop looking down at this thread playing in traffic. So even if we don't want to mention it, what are those things that keep you from less than 100% happy, 100% thrilled? What is the alien that's keeping you in check? Because I think, right, if we talk about, we have to first identify what it is that holds us back. Jenny Coffey says, the physical body can be limiting, but there are ways to work around it. Jenny, I absolutely agree. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Candace, what are you calling the people that can't drive? No, I just say this. Here's the thing. The doctors say to me, oh, you're not allowed to drive. For the next week, however long it is, you have to be driven around. And I'm not one of those guys that loves driving. I got to tell you, I love being chauffeured. So when the doctor says, oh, I'm really sorry, you're going to have to be chauffeured, I go, whoa, what? Time out. Did you mention that to people in my family? They have to pick me up and cart me wherever I want to go? Yes. They have to be told when and where to drop me off and to come and get me? Yes, in fact, they do. I go, I am loving this. I will tell you I'm absolutely loving it. So, Candace, I don't know what I'm calling everybody, but I will tell you the majority, Candace Johnson, blah. What are you calling the people that can't drive? They're everywhere, I suspect, Candace, but for me now, I'm not on that list because I get chauffeured until the doctor, and let's just hope I don't come down with something between now and when we go back to see the doctor because I'm digging this chauffeured thing. So I'm not one of the ones that you have to worry because, candidly, I'm a menace behind the wheel. Even with all that training in law enforcement, all the academies, this and that and everything else, the last thing I need to be doing is driving around. Right? I love being chauffeured. All right, Wayne, thank you very much. Facebook.com/thinkingreenvisionedofficial. Following this very broadcast and then following that broadcast, which I'm counting on Wayne to put up a post in that, we're going to be doing Copy That Speaks with Mr. Lee Rowley. So if you get a chance to stick around and then to come back for that show, I'm sure he would love to have you and entertain some of your questions. All right, so in the closing minutes this evening, as you prepare for the holidays, you prepare for the long break, again, I want to thank the good people at Telestream's Wirecast. I need, as always, to thank Wayne Noel for everything he does in terms of learning all this stuff and keeping me honest in the time. Jenny says, you are a menace before the tumor. Jenny, I've been a menace long before the tumor, although they say it grew on me for 30 years. I don't think it's the tumor's fault. I think it's my fault. Also, to Henry Noel and everything he does to keep transitional radio up and going, IPMNation.com/TR now. And then, of course, Matt Connerton and Jenny as well for everything that they do. And I think I saw something today where it's like an anniversary or something with, here's the way it was when we first started IPMNation.com. Thank you to them for everything that they've done and sticking with me through all the tumor, because I started this All Natural Being long before we knew of the brain tumor. So thank you for sticking with me. Good evening, Rita. Nice to see you. Thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. Clock is getting close. I know, I'm in at 42. And here's something else I realized last night. I went ahead and killed it, and there was still 8 seconds left on the feed. So I got to figure out how to time it a little closer. So the next thing I'll get from Wayne will be like sweating. I don't know how he does these emojis, but he comes up with great ones. It'll be a smiley face sweating. Rita, thank you very much. You have a great weekend as well. Sue, thank you so very much for joining us. I hope you have a fantastic weekend planned as well. I hope to catch up with you before the middle of next week if you get a chance. Mortal up, sup? Yes. Sue, thank you very much. And I need to thank you for everything you've done, again, throughout the tumor, just everything you've done for me personally and professionally. You may not know this, but Sue's a bigwig I don't even want to say where, just in case she doesn't want me to say where, but she's a bigwig, a television writer and producer and this and that. And she used to be my boss all those years ago. Talk slower. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'll just keep Wayne hopping, won't it? All right, so in the 42 seconds, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so very much to everyone that's been involved in the show. Have an absolutely fantastic holiday, however you decide to celebrate it. Thank you for being a part of All Natural Being. We'll look forward to be back with you staple-free. Don't have to worry about wearing tinfoil baseball caps anymore. Staple-free. We'll look forward to being back with you next week. And, of course, we'll keep everybody abreast of what's going on. Thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. Have an absolutely Merry Christmas, a fantastic Hanukkah. However you celebrate the holiday, I wish you nothing but the best. We're out of here.
IPMNation.com.